Part of the reason for these jumps is because of policy changes at USCIS, which is allowing them to issue green cards at a faster pace. We have some important immigration news for you today. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has announced a workforce crisis and is calling on the Biden administration to double the number of employment-based visas available every single year. Also, the July-based visa bulletin has been released, and we have seen significant movement through both the employment and family-based categories. We're going to cover all the details right now. Make sure you stay tuned until the end to see how this news might potentially impact your case. And if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe to my page and like the video to help support the growth of my channel. Let's start with an important update about employment-based visa categories. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has announced a significant workforce crisis where the U.S. does not have enough skilled workers and has called on the Biden administration to double the annual number available of employment-based visas from 140,000 to 280,000 visas available each year. They have also called for the cap on the H1B quota to be lifted and to be increased to double the size in order to bring more skilled professionals to the United States. This sounds exciting, but what exactly is causing the U.S. Chamber of Commerce to worry so much and get involved in immigration reform? As the U.S. economy tries to recover from the pandemic, American companies are reporting a lack of available workers, which has slowed down the pandemic recovery. According to a report released by the Chamber of Commerce, there were 8.1 million job openings in 2021, which is a record high. There are now approximately half as many available workers for every open job relative to the average over the past 20 years. In addition, 90% of state and local businesses surveyed reported a lack of available workers as the main factor slowing down the economy in their area. This has companies across the country calling on the Biden administration to lift the cap and expedite employment-based visas. As we discussed in my previous video, bipartisan support for most immigration reform seems unlikely. However, the U.S. economy is a top priority for both Republicans and Democrats. If the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and American businesses are both pushing to expand the employment-based visas, there is a good chance that we will see progress in this area. We have already seen some of the steps taken by the Biden administration to make it easier for employment-based visa applicants to come to the U.S. In April of this year, the president allowed the H1B visa ban issued by President Trump to expire. The Department of Labor also delayed a separate Trump-era rule that raised wage rates for H1B workers and green card holders. And in May, USCIS announced that it will give deference to its own prior adjudications, effectively streamlining the processes for previously approved H1B and other work-based applications. So, unlike in other areas requiring immigration reform, this one, where it concerns the U.S. workforce, may actually show some progress in reformation. In addition to expanding the limit for employment-based visas, the Chamber of Commerce is also encouraging the Biden administration to stop counting spouses and minor children under the annual green card quota, which could also double the amounts of employment-based visas available, eliminate per-country caps that cause individuals from some countries to wait longer than others, and offer international students who graduate from U.S. universities more opportunities to obtain employment-based green cards upon graduation. If economic conditions do not improve and American businesses continue to suffer, American businesses will continue their political pressure upon the government, and it is likely to increase the possibility of immigration reform in this area. There is a lot more information coming about immigration reform as these are being proposed by the Chamber of Commerce, but I would like to move on to the visa bulletin. If you want to learn more, I have included links in my description below regarding this news. And if this is your very first time visiting my channel, please make sure you subscribe and make sure you like this video so you can go ahead and get more immigration news. Before we get to the visa bulletin, I would like to remind everyone that the U.S. Bureau of Consular Affairs announced their immigrant visa priorities in April, releasing a tiered system for their consular sections to follow each month. Tier 1 is immediate relative intercountry adoption visas, age-out cases, and special immigrant visas. Tier 2 is immediate relative visas, fiancé visas, and returning resident visas. Tier 3 is family preference immigrant visas and SE special immigrant visas for certain employees of the U.S. government abroad. And Tier 4 is all other immigrant visas, including employment preference and diversity visas. The State Department's first priority is family reunification, so they are maximizing their limited resources to prevent the backlog of immediate relative and fiancé visas from growing. Rest assured that they have also instructed U.S. embassies and consulates to schedule in Tier 3 and Tier 4 each month. However, continued delays are still expected in these categories. Okay, so what sort of movement are we seeing in the July visa bulletin? Starting with employment-based visas, we saw significant movement this month across the board, including major advancements in India that has a lot of people excited. USCIS has instructed applicants to use the final action dates chart. So let's take a look at the dates and what has changed. Just to note, all of the previously current categories are still current, so I'm only going to point out where we saw movements in this July bulletin. If you would like to take a look at a specific category, I will include a link in my description to the July visa bulletin so you can take a deeper dive. So we continue to see significant advancement in both India and China for EB2, with China moving forward by 7 months to December 1st, 2017, and India by 6 months to June 1st, 2011. India EB3 is where we saw that big jump that has people excited. Both the professionals and skilled workers and other workers categories moved forward by over a year to January 1st, 2013. This is the biggest jump we have seen in this category in years. We also saw EB3 for China move forward 4 months to January 1st, 2019, and the other EB3 worker categories moved by 2 months to December 1st, 2009. Part of the reason for these jumps is because of policy changes at USCIS, which is allowing them to issue green cards at a faster pace. We hope to see some of these advances continue in the next couple of months through September. For Mexico, we saw the EB4 category advance by 3 months to February 1st, 2020. And we saw the same category advance in Central America by 1 month to December 1st, 2018. Finally, the EB5 category. China advanced by almost 2 months to November 8, 2015. Vietnam had other big jumps of 2 years from April 1st, 2020. At this rate, we should see Vietnam join the rest of the areas as current very soon. Note that the EB5 I just mentioned is for the EB5 non-regional center. If you take a look at this chart on the July visa bulletin, you will see the EB5 regional center is now listed as unauthorized. This is because the regional center program expires on June 30th, 2021. So, barring congressional action on passing legislation to reauthorize this program, immigrant visa issuance and adjustment of status applications under this category will cease after June 30th, 2021. Moving on to family-sponsored visas, we continue to see forward movement, though not at the same rates that we saw for employment-based categories. Let's start by looking at the final action dates, where we finally saw Mexico making some big advancements in nearly every category. F1 had the biggest jump, moving forward 5 months to October 1st, 1998. China, India, and all other countries moved forward by 14 days to November 15th, 2014. F2A continues to remain current in all chargeability areas, while the F2B category moved forward for China, India, and all other countries by 24 days to September 15, 2015. And Mexico moved forward at almost 5 months to February 1st, 2000. Next, we have the F3 category, where Mexico advanced almost 4 months to March 8, 1997, and China, India, and all their countries advanced 2 months to November 1st, 2008. Next, we have the biggest filing dates for family-based visa categories. For these dates, we saw the biggest advancements in the F1 and F2 categories. Note that with the exception of the F2A category, USCIS has instructed applicants to use the dates for filing chart for July of 2021. Again, I'm only going to cover the areas where we saw actual movement. I will link to the full visa bulletin below for those of you who want to take a full look. For F1 categories of family-based visa filing dates, we saw the most movement, though not as much as last month. The Philippines continues to lead the pace in the category, with the filing date moving forward more than 11 months to April 22nd, 2015. This was followed by Mexico, where the filing date advanced 2 months and 17 days to August 1st, 2000. Then we had India, China, and all other countries move forward by 2.5 months to May 15th, 2016. The H1B saw advancements in China, India, and all other countries by 1 month and 1 week to September 22nd, 2016. And the Philippines moved forward 2 months to October 1st, 2013. In the F3 categories, India, China, and all other countries moved forward by 3 weeks to August 22nd, 2009, and the Philippines advanced just under 2 months to October 1st, 2003. In the F4 category, we saw advancement only in the Philippines, which jumped forward almost 6 months to February 1st, 2004. Leave me a comment and let me know if there's a category that you have been waiting on. Finally, is Biden's hope for major immigration reform dead? If you want to find out, watch this video where I explain the immigration court backlog and how it could potentially prevent the Biden administration from passing any meaningful immigration reform over the coming years. I will continue releasing more videos as news becomes available, so make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell so you know exactly when I release a new video. Check out this video. I'll see you there.